Hello and welcome. So I'm at CMT Trade Fair in Stuttgart, and I've got a question sent in by a viewer whose is the amateur boater. Now, amateur boater, I did actually write a response, but there was a problem with the internet, and so I'm going to give you a video response. And your question is the following: would you buy this van? Now, and now I've got the description for you. I was going to pay more for my new motorhome, but I've been thinking I might do up to 10 to 15,000 miles per year. So, after 5 years, my expensive van would have an extra 65,000 miles on it, and that will really lower its resale value. There's a Rimor Seal 67 under 3 years old and only 8,000 miles on sale for only £46,000. I appreciate the interior is a bit cheap and nasty, but the layout is great and the mechanicals will still be in great shape, so no big repair bills. At such a cheap price, would you overlook the build quality concerns and buy a Seal 67? Right, well, I'd like to invite other people to make their comments on this one as well. But as you've asked me the question, the point is I wouldn't buy a Rimor. The reason I wouldn't, I actually worked at an area in a place where there were Rimors coming in. Rimors were actually rented and they were sold. And I would say this, so 20% of them already had water ingress problems when they arrived, the new ones. So what the old ones are like, I am unable to say. You certainly would get a situation whereby the vehicles, they're driving around and so the walls, all vehicles have this, the walls which might have been sort of sellotaped together or something, and then the water tightness gets worse. I mean, that's common. But in Rimor, I'd have to say, to my opinion, it's very, very common. Now, the thing about this is unlike car, to a large extent, a car that's done a lot of travel, kilometers, miles, that will certainly lose its value. So if you've got it, but with motorhomes, it isn't really the case, because you've still, I think it's other things which are important, in my opinion. Sorry for the background noise, but that's the way it is. I suppose I could have done this I could have done this video in my own motorhome, but it wouldn't have been the same, would it? I mean, you can sort of see things out the back of my back of the camera. So, therefore, in my opinion, I would say no. I'd say don't worry about the resale value. I know this is really British to think people sort of talk about how much their houses are worth. I've never seen this in any other country other than the United Kingdom. So I'm sure people actually also talk about how much their motorhomes they might think are worth. So don't worry about it. Now, my advice: if I had 46,000, I was going to spend it, I would go for something like a classic vehicle, such as either classic Heath, Cartago, which was in the Cartago showroom now. I would go for something maybe like a Rimor or something like that, which is likely to still be reliable. I mean, for £46,000, get a pretty good vehicle. And not only that, it'll be on the road. I've often said to people that if I ever bought another car, I'd get the same car as I had before, which was a Mercedes 190D, which they ceased production in 1996. The reason I do this is, I'm sure that if I bought one of them today, it'll still be on the road long after a lot of stuff which is coming off the production line this week has been dumped. So that is my suggestion. I wouldn't go for a cheap brand such as Rimor. I just wouldn't take the risk with it at all. But anyway, other people might think differently, and the benefit of doing things with the internet is the following: that others there may be viewers who've got a Rimor, who've had other experiences, so worth looking at their experiences at the same time. But my experience, and this was from a professional point of view, was not particularly good. So I hope that answers the question. I'm sorry that this came by video response, but then again, I suppose more people are going to see it now, and hopefully I'll get this up quite quickly to show you. There's a place here, the internet here isn't too bad, so hopefully that'll come to you. Anyway, good. I'll try and do more video responses because I think it's an interesting way of doing things. For the moment from me in Stuttgart, thanks very much for watching. Hope you found that interesting. And here, I'm going to walk into another hall here. Obviously, not everybody, lots of people have gone home. And I'll get kicked out of here before long myself. And but I can hear there's some music, so I have to stop walking around. Thanks. Bye for now.